Hey everyone, it's a podcast. I'm Nintendo Son, also known as Ethan.
I
Oh,
am Stop Action Agidius. I've been transformed into a Podicus.
Podcasts.
I am Winless Zephyr. I have weird friends.
Yeah,
I'm
you
sorry.
have really
I
weird
do.
friends.
I have strong friends with whom I love to talk.
Yeah. So early on this week, there was news about Bayonetta 2, which is kind of
Ethan,
a
your mic ain't working.
what?
Your mic isn't working correctly.
I assume it's working just fine for the recording, so whatever.
I
Okay.
didn't know that.
Whatever.
I can't
You're
hear you.
you're coming out quiet for me also, but I don't know if that's gonna be fixed or not.
Anyway,
Okay, so Bayonetta 2 has been announced to be released for the Wii U, which is coming out. I forget when. And people are making a whole fuss about it because it was a Xbox PlayStation thing because Wii couldn't handle it. So it's now going to be a Wii U exclusive, and people are being upset and internet-like about it.
Yeah, it's almost as silly as releasing a Kingdom Hearts for the Game Boy Advance. I mean, jeez.
No, what's ridiculous is releasing one for the phone. That was stupid.
How about that? The world ends with you, iPhone.
It
It does indeed.
Yeah. That was ridiculous. Let's come out with Kingdom Hearts 2.
Confused. What are we talking about? Some release?
No one has any idea.
I have an idea.
Me Podicus now. Doesn't
Indeed.
matter.
So what do you think is possibly in store for the whole next generation besides Wii? I mean, we've seen their stuff. They've got the whole tablet, two-screened gameplay. What do you think Xbox
As usual, Nintendo's always first come out with like a new generation of systems. I mean, there's never been a case when that's not the case per se. So, I guess I think it's going to be like kind of for the other two major companies at least knocking off Wii U. I think that's what they did with well, not necessarily. No,
Yeah.
they did with Kinect.
Well, that's usually what happens. Wii comes
of
out with their
course. So-
stuff. PlayStation copied with the Move thing, and then they came out with they had like the wizard whatever wand thing. Then they had the Move, and then Xbox did their Kinect.
Yeah, which I guess Kinect was a step from the Wii, which is pretty cool. I don't know. I mean, next generation systems other than Wii U, they're going to be like the Wii U, but slightly better or different. That's what
I'm gonna go out on a limb here and assume that Sony's gonna stick with the BioShock control. It's not the BioShock, the DualShock controller.
I hope so. Goodness, PlayStation forever.
I really don't know because honestly, it's one of those things where I don't see how you can go a step further, like in graphical and in any of that stuff. It's pretty much things are looking good, and that's what you've always thought with every single console is how can it possibly get better, and I want to see that. I want to know how can it get better.
Yeah, I think the what's the term? Getting better. The upgrades, the
graphical overhaul.
No, not necessarily. I mean, the graphics, even for the current generation, like PS3 and whatnot, are really, really freaking fantastic. I think there's not going to be much development in those areas. They're probably going to work more towards, like, features and technical stuff, like a pad thing, tablet, whatever it's called. Goodness, I have too much to say about this. Ethan, Mark, say so.
I think games look pretty much as good right now as they ever really should. I mean,
yeah.
What was it? LA Noire with all.
Oh yeah.
I never actually saw it. I mean, I never actually played it for myself, but I've seen footage and the like.
It did some sort of face scan, so every model was accurate to whoever's face that they scanned or something. But I'm afraid that graphics are get to the point almost like what was it, Avatar. I do not want graphics that look that good in my game.
Why not?
I don't know. It's too weird.
You mean you're not gonna like virtual reality when that comes out?
Nope. I mean, if you can give me something like a Halo-looking character from nowadays and put that in a 3D sort of environment, I would be happy. But as soon as they get too real looking, I don't think I can do that.
Fair enough.
It's too
Right.
odd.
I kind of imagine like some sort of psychological crossover while you're in the game and you play it too much. Like, obviously there are those people who say, "Oh, you lose track between reality and the game." You know, if it becomes virtual reality like that, and it is too graphics intensive, it is too real, I could very easily see someone losing themselves entirely and just
People
forgetting.
look too much like Goombas. What should I do?
Are you guys familiar with the book called Heir Apparent? I doubt it, but are you?
What was the book's name?
Heir Apparent, like heirs.
Oh, Aerith's game or
I'm familiar with the song.
It's like no wait, you're talking
It
about
was
the
a
book
book.
Aerith's game or Aaron's game or
No,
Apparent.
it's Heir Apparent.
oh no.
Anyway, Heir Apparent is basically what you guys just described, where it's got the whole virtual reality shtick and some girl goes in there and gets consumed in the game, I guess.
Getting all Matrix on this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that. Although there was a weird plot twist in the system she was using, kind of went.
So
it
Lord
glitched. So it glitched, and what resulted from that was that if she died a certain number of times in the game, the wiring that hooked up to her brain, her body, shut down, she would die. I just thought it was interesting, and I kind of thought it freaks me out for virtual reality and whatnot. It's like that's happening to your nerves. But I don't know. It's a cool concept.
No, but I think graphics. I think graphics are going to get to the point where people look too real in games that they'll automatically think this is what I'm supposed to go after. This is the thing that I'm supposed to shoot or something like that. I don't know. It's the whole parents are saying, oh, video games lead to this. I'm afraid it's going to get to that point in which it actually does lead to this, because the whole video games lead to this thing is nonsense. It truly isn't such a thing now, but I'm afraid it could be.
Well, you'd have to do a lot of psychological research to really disprove that. I mean, there's been a lot done, but who knows? Video games will go anywhere, which is cool, I guess.
Now then, what I'm curious about, while we're on the topic of graphics and everything like that, when we're going to get the first the first entirely computer-made movie that doesn't look like DreamWorks made it, that looks like it was actually a live-action movie.
So,
that would be like the first step, I think, towards photorealism in games.
they have something like that. It's called Tron.
Well, no, Tron still uses actors to some extent.
Tron still has some live action stuff. Are you familiar with one of the two Final Fantasy movies that I know of called what was it?
I know the Final Fantasy movies exist, yes.
Yeah, there's like
not Advent Children, the previous one.
I have not seen it.
I only know of Advent Children, and that was pretty good.
That movie had some of the most realistic graphics I'd ever seen in my entire life. It was made in 2001.
Past.
Or even better than PS3, LA Noire, any of that stuff. It was better than that. It was made in 2001.
Better
was
than.
it really, or are you just looking at it through nostalgia glasses?
No, I had a physical copy, and the date on it is not a fake copy. It's an actual copy.
All right.
Better than Avatar?
Yeah, better than Avatar. It was all complete. Although it wasn't really a good movie, but that's for great, really. So, I don't know. It's possible. Freaky, but it's possible.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want graphics kid to get to that point. It'd just be too weird for me.
I'm sure it'll happen eventually. Maybe then you can just stick to all history and.
I mean, I know that once it gets to that point, you'd be used to seeing something like that, because when you look at like NES and you're slowly moving towards, it went from NES to like the 8-bit to 16-bit, and it slowly moved forward. So probably by that point we'll be used to seeing something like that. But I'm afraid that if it's something sudden,
so you're looking more for a gradual transition.
Yeah, I know it will be there, but just I don't know.
Well, if you look at how long it took Nintendo to come out with and all that fun stuff. That's pretty natural transition, considering that's like a 30 lifespan.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Like 6 years?
Well, yeah, that's about a 30 lifespan.
It's definitely been a while.
Yes, indeed. I'm sure when it happens, it won't be too much older this time.
Yeah.
A little disconcerting,
So, I definitely know it'll be a slow transition because one of the things which I always find funny is whenever there's another Halo game coming out, people always say, "Oh, this Halo game looks like this Halo game, and this one looks like this one," and they say that there's no graphical difference, but that pretty much means that Halo Reach looks exactly like Halo 1.
yeah. Was it Common Evolved? Something. Yeah, I've noticed that actually, which is so short-sighted, I guess. I don't think that was right.
You're kind of cutting out.
Well,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I noticed when my brother was playing Halo 1 like a few weeks ago, and I was watching, I was just thinking, holy crap, this is a Halo game, and these graphics. And then, playing Halo like a few days later with friends, I don't even know. Graphics just getting better. And Marcus vanished. Where did you
I'm playing Fallout. I told you this.
Oh, yeah.
Activate A321 recall code Violet. I mean, what?
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 I guess it means neither of you are androids, alright?
Cool.
Sadly, no.
I guess.
Sometimes I wish I was.
I don't know. That means I would have lack of feelings unless you get to the
You're
point.
supposed to pay attention there. Crap. Now what?
Good job, Mark. Let your distraction distract you from distraction you need to distract yourself from distraction.
Woo!
Perfect sense in my mind.
You'll never see this again.
That's true. I've been spending most of my time in my room lately. Like, all of my time.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I just can't wait until you get out of college so that way you have better internet.
So I do what now?
So you have better
I actually
internet.
have really good internet. But sometimes other people are using it, and then they take up my bandwidth. But I have really fast internet.
You need to run around like your whole complex going everyone so you shut the fuck up, get off the internet, I'm gonna do a podcast. Before I kick you in the nutsack.
Actually, most of the people in my dorm are probably at a party right now, so I couldn't care less. I have systems right now.
Parties.
I think of the next handheld system. Ooh.
What next?
Yes.
What?
You mean the Nintendo 3DS XL DSi?
No.
What?
No,
I'm sorry, I didn't pay attention to. I haven't been paying attention to handheld stuff, so there's gonna be another handheld thing.
Do you think Xbox or Sony will make a handheld?
Xbox isn't a company. Just
Microsoft.
so
Microsoft.
Oh my god.
I don't think Microsoft will, but I think.
Are you familiar with the Android?
No.
It's a phone. That doesn't count.
It totally counts.
Really,
I mean, crap, like, casual gaming like that is pretty much where we're heading.
No, casuals.
Wow, we are a dying breed. Makes me sad.
Yeah, we are. But, I don't know. I know that PlayStation really pushed for, handheld with the Vita, so.
Yeah, that's clearly what we're going.
I don't know. I think if Microsoft went to go for a handheld thing, they definitely would. But I don't see them doing it because they're too concentrated on their Xbox and their PCs and their Windows.
Speaking of Windows, how about that Windows 8?
No. Let's talk about Windows 8 next week because we have less than 30 seconds for this one.
What are you talking about? You got like the infinite time thing going on now.
Not for no. The podcast has its own separate channel.
Oh, man.
Oh, what?
Okay, whatever. So on that note, goodbye or what?